recording this stream just for the Wise Madden League. Looks like EA is in. Yo, what's going on, Trey? Yeah, we recording right now, just so y'all know. We live. Let me just try to share this link to everybody real quick. But we live right now. Shit. That's a whole nother story to try to teach somebody from scratch.
I thought you do basketball.
Yo, but I wanted to, the only reason I'm doing this YouTube video and recording it this way is because every year we go through the same spiel, the same process when Madden is over with and the beta is going to come around and they're going to ask for feedback and all this. And it's the same issues, if you ask me, every single time, just repackaged in different ways. So I asked everybody to come up with my suggestion was to come up with 3 pros and cons that you wanted to discuss because they are in like feedback mode right now. I see people post that they're pretty much upset that every major tournament that they ran, everybody was running the ball in order to win the championship. Like, that's it. They never wanted to pass the ball. And I could point out like what was the reason for that, but I want to let you guys talk first before I even go in, because I got a little different background. Like Linky knows, DjLynx knows that I've been pretty much studying computers since I was a little kid, bro.
Yeah, you still getting murked too.
I'll let you talk your story there, right? I'm number 1 in the league right now. It's recorded. Everybody knows I'm number 1 in the league right now.
That's okay. My bad though. I heard the last part of this. What was the main question?
Main question: three Madden pros and cons. They want to know if they need feedback. So, give me 3 cons. Give me 3 pros.
Overload blitzes.
What do you mean by overload blitzes? What do you mean by overload blitzes?
Let me stop. I'm trolling. Let me stop. I'm trying to think of something. I'm just saying that for all you overload blitzes out there, that's all you got to do on defense.
Well,
that's just cheating to me, man. It's not like football where every play you just send it 8 people. Just because you know you're going to exploit the game. That's just not football to me. I don't care about blitzes. By far, I don't care. That's the fun of football. It's football. A nigga got to block you. But when you just continually, the whole game, sending 8 plays, and exploiting, that's not football.
well,
So I know that. That's why I'm not even stressed. But when it becomes an exploit to the game, bro, it's like, come on.
all right. Let me go first then, cause I think a lot of I think after I cover what I'm covering, you guys are gonna be able to add on top of it. So, I want to say that this is the EA Sports is in the sports simulation entertainment business. The reason why I say that is because they said that. The main focus, they kept saying they're the NFL's sports simulation, they hold the license for sports simulation for the NFL. And they do so much trying to copy 2K. For some reason, I don't understand it. Instead of working a formula that has worked already. Like, I don't get why they do that. But here's my pros. I'm gonna go off top because people bash them all the time. In my pros, I'm gonna name 2 devs. First dev is Clinton Oldenburg. The reason why I'm naming him specifically, he is the only guy from the NFL who used to be an offensive lineman, and he actually upgraded the blocking to add ID the mic, to add double teams, and change a lot of plays in the background that people don't know. This is the reason why you're able to even block some of those blitzes, is because of him specifically. So he deserves that credit, even though he's not like a perfect human being. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so I'll put him as one of the pros that Madden needs to keep. If you don't have an NFL mind in that building at all, you will not know what the fuck you're doing in order to like copy the NFL at all. It doesn't matter how good you are at programming. It doesn't matter how good you're at marketing. It doesn't matter how good you're at winning tournaments. If you've never been in the NFL, you can't talk about NFL experience, in my opinion. Like, at all. Like, I don't know. But that's the one guy in that building they should not get rid of ever, because he's the only NFL guy on their staff that actually been in the NFL. Exactly. So I'm glad that these NFL stars are talking up now more on Twitter because of this pandemic and stuff going on. Shout out to all the people doing essential work for us, by the way. But you need the voice of the NFL players who actually played the game in real life and want to make Madden better. I'm going to name another dev, Anthony White. Anthony White is the genius that writes the plays for Madden. And they limit him so much that I'm naming these guys because I know that you can only do as much as the cards that are been dealt to you is going to limit how much you can go. And I've seen these guys like post stuff on YouTube, have interviews, and I hear their ideas, and you can tell like they have the right vision. Like when it comes to if we let this guy actually do what he wants to do, like it'll go beyond what we're asking for with playbooks. But I don't know why they're so limited, because I know the hardware here. I've dealt with many different hardwares on a computer level because I had to do repairs all throughout my life, and I've messed with emulators and stuff. So I don't know why they're so limited. I don't think they're thinking the right way, because you can do so much with this hardware. But anywho, and the third thing I put for pros, Trey left. He must have dropped. He'll come back. The third thing I put on there for pro is the tuning they did to regs, the play now mode, and the on the exhibition mode online. The only reason I say that, the tuning they did to regs, every single person when they picked up the game said this feels exactly like the real life counterpart. That's the only mode I would say is tuned right, because everyone could say it feels like it, even though there's still bugs in the game. That's the only mode everyone could say the players are like their real life counterparts as much as possible based on what they were working with. Like everyone said that. Right, Trey's back. You want me to repeat my third one, Trey?
This page. Yeah.
All right, my third one I was talking about was regs, and I said that everyone, when they first started playing the game in exhibition mode and they went online to play with these stock teams, everyone said each team felt like their real life counterparts. Even though there was bugs still in the game, like fucking armbar was OP as hell, but everyone said the teams felt like you had to use the team scheme and everything like that. That's the only mode I would say is tuned exactly right. Like they might have to clean up some of the features and stuff, but the mode everyone who picked up the game from day one always said that regs either was the best mode or it fit exactly like the personalities in the real life NFL. So those are my 3 pros. Now the cons in this is kind of long, but I'm gonna shorten it up, because everybody can name a million different items, especially in this game that has crazy amount of gigs just to install it and update it all the fucking time. But I'm gonna summarize it to make it simple, because I don't think they know what they're doing some of the times. They don't know what to fix first and shit like that. They have meetings over this shit, and I'll be sitting there wondering, like, it's not that complicated. And the first thing I'm going to say as a con is their lack of focus. They're trying to please every freaking audience, from babies to grandpa. They're trying to make them play Madden. Like, no, you have to focus on who's your fucking audience. Like, you even John Madden, when they asked him early on when they first made the series, his focus was to teach football. They do not do that shit. Like, from the beginning of the game is the only time they try to teach you football a little bit with the skills trainer. And you know how many people skip the skills trainer and go straight to MUT or straight to online, and they don't know a cover 2 coverage. They don't know nothing. They don't teach football. They don't emphasize teaching football in this because their lack of focus. I call it, like, you can see so much game fodder in this game. Like, there's so many MUT ads. There's so many, like, plays in this game that are useless that nobody ever used. There's like look at it. This is how much fodder in this game. Which I call it fodder, but I think it's, you see so much trash in the game because they don't have a focus. Like, we have traits, we have ratings, we have abilities, all for one player, and half of those stuff you can't upgrade, change, or it doesn't even affect the game sometimes. Like, why? It's taking up space for what? You see what I'm saying? Like, it's redundant in some of those things. Why do you have traits that are covered by certain abilities? It don't make sense. But then you got Face of the Franchise. Which one of y'all played that Face of the Franchise?
I played until week 8, and that's it.
Okay. QB1. Exactly my point. Like, they don't know which audience they want to reach. Then they got Superstar KO mode. You see what I'm saying? Like, which audience you want to reach? Give me a second. Yeah, sorry, but I gotta speak into the mic. I already told her I'm gonna be on this call anyway. But, like, you got Superstar KO. This is, it all boils down to you don't have a focus. Like, they're not even focusing on what Madden told them that he wanted to focus on. So, like, this is the game you got. You got a whole bunch of mediocre modes instead of one good mode. Like, it's crazy. But they don't realize that. You're going to always have mediocre product when you're doing a million different things and no focus. If it was strictly about teaching football, like, franchise mode would be better. MUT would be better because they have a focus on what they want to do. Like, but anywho, I mean, they would make so much money. All right, I don't know what they're doing with the franchise mode. Like, this is my personal opinion. Like, the custom playbook integration in any of these modes is so poor. Like, in franchise mode, and people in MUT would like it. People in every single mode would like custom playbooks, but they don't integrate it properly. Like, every single mode, it all revolves around not having a focus. Like every single one of these problems, like, you could see it. They took out not being able to, like, reset the injuries in the franchise mode when I don't know anybody who asks for that, unless they gonna, like, later on ask they're gonna take one of my ideas that I put out there, which was, instead of having MUT and franchise mode and trying to put the stuff that's in MUT into franchise mode, they should sponsor the franchises so that it's already there, like, to build your team in different leagues, and you can rank up to different leagues and stuff like that. But it's already there in one mode if they wanted to combine it. You see what I'm saying? But they don't focus like that. It's crazy.
No, they're trying to make a mode for everybody, I guess. Like you were saying.
Their focus is off. Like, it don't make sense.
Some people who play that stuff, though.
Yeah.
Like playing Pegasus and stuff like this.
Too many people at one time. Every single one of these modes could be in one thing. Like, you could change if you could change the setting to make it arcade over the top, that's superstar KO. But it could all be in one thing, and their resources would be like all in one place. They wouldn't have to do so many different things. Like they have to have a team for superstar KO mode. They have to have a whole nother team for ultimate mode. Like it's crazy. Instead of putting their resources together, putting their heads together, they're separating. It don't make any sense. But you can see it out in the animations, the unbalanced ability system. It's the same thing. Their focus is off. Like when you have so many different modes, you're gonna tailor that ability or tailor that whatever new feature you have for that specific mode, but you're not gonna think about the other mode until later on, and then you're gonna have to patch it. You see what I'm saying? It's a lack of focus. What else? What else? You mean I covered the franchise mode and the animations. I could go into specific animations like that they may want to look into, like the movements, the player movements. It doesn't really represent foot planning anymore, or like leverage is like not existent when the animations start. It goes away. Like there's so much loss of control when you throw the ball to like wide receivers and DBs. At times, the DBs have better catch animations than the wide receivers. Doesn't make any sense. Like the pursuit angles, like if you do a stop and go or a certain movement that the AI can't replicate itself, it doesn't know what to do. It might run backwards and stuff and not act like you're not even on the field anymore. Yeah, it's like exactly like they have no. I've seen Super Tecmo Bowl have AI with better focus at catching the ball carrier than Madden at times. And they can't blame. And Super Tecmo Bowl is one of the greatest football games of all time, but it's like a 16 or 8-bit game. This is like there's no excuse for this. Like we're on fucking PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5 coming out, and your AI can't even keep up with Super Tecmo Bowl. That don't make sense. That doesn't make sense at all. You're doing too much. That's the lack of focus again. It's the same thing. You're doing way too much. Keep it simple. That's the blocking, targeting needs improvement. The QB contains. I'm gonna talk about the QB contains for a second, because people don't know. It's obvious they don't know what to do with it because they keep going back and forth whether it doesn't pursue the quarterback or not, and each time it messes up the game anyway. But what needs to be done is this is why Clint is vital here. The tackles are supposed to actually identify when those edge defenders are playing out or they're about to crash in. Like after they do the contain out and when they're coming back crashing in going after the quarterback, those tackles should recognize that and adjust. Like in real life, that's what they do. You'll see them shuffling their feet, waiting for them, and then like when they come late, they right there. But this game, they can't even recognize that. Like I don't know why they.
Once they go in that contain, they act like the tackles have no fucking.
I don't get it why they keep changing how the contains work instead of how the blockers react to contains. Like I don't get it. But
in the past, I just remember when you hit contain, like the tackles, they at least go in the pass protect and stand in front of that person until you react. Like if the defensive end decides to press, the tackles usually used to go grab it. That shit don't happen in this one.
Yeah, like because they keep changing how contains work instead of like improving how the blocking works with certain rush angles. Exactly. Like I get so frustrated when I see DBs on contains, and it's like one of the go-to moves in this game, and the DBs are like never put on their face by a tackle. Like it's like you never seen a freaking DB or a safety go head up with a tackle in real life because they know they might end up on the IR that year. Like you see what I'm saying? Like this shit is wild. That's why people still.
First of all,
Yeah, go ahead.
now I was going to say, you don't find much quarters containing at the line anyway. I mean, it can happen, I'm saying it doesn't happen, but that's like once in a blue moon for a play, you went to the corner or contain on the edge. Because first of all, you're going to be lined up against a goddamn tackle. That's a mismatch all day.
Exactly.
That's just another exploit that people do. That they're going to contain it with the corner because he's going to be quick as hell, and then once he gets in, he's going to be a sack. That's why I say they usually use it as a sack more than just containing it, being a real containment.
Yeah, this is why I can't blame the devs, because they put the limitations on this O-line based on what people have been complaining about. When we used to do like nano blitzes and D tackles would come through in, when D tackles would come through the line like instantly, like people complained so much, instead of figuring out how to block it, they decided that now the D tackles would not ever get pressure on like 90% of the plays. Like they basically give 2 yards automatically by the play starts. You see what I'm saying? Like, but that's why I said the focus is off. Madden said it from day one. Like, you got to teach football. You can't just expect the regular Joe Smo to come up and play your game, and you're supposed to be a football sim. Like, they're not gonna know. I feel like some of these abilities they need to be nerfed, or they shouldn't exist. The way they wrote the code of some of these abilities, basically majority of them were like override animations. Like, no matter what you did, the ability would override whatever animation that was started and give that outcome of whatever the ability was. Like, so when the I will go with the armbar. When the armbar first came out, it was overriding every tackle animation you could think of, putting everybody on their back, whether it was a D tackle, like, well, it don't matter. That's another animation that I don't get. When have you ever seen a D tackle choke slammed to the floor by a running back? Alright, I'm gonna. Yeah, I know. Yo, I'm gonna read off what the league is saying about what needs to be fixed, and you guys can add to it. Well, I posted it in the league, to tell me what they think, the pros and cons should be, and they left some messages there, so I'm gonna. All right, sir. All right. All right. So like Jeffrey, he put like the pursuit angles need to be fixed. Like, I think they overcomplicate the pursuit on this game. Like I told you, like Tecmo Super Bowl, like has better pursuit. All right. Yeah, Ricky, the Broncos owner said, too many times the lead blocker will run past the first defender and go block the safety or the cornerback. I don't know if he knows, but the ID to Mike feature will change who the blocking is targeting in the game. Like, we didn't have that before. It changes who that fullback will target. And if you change the cursor and put it on the fullback or the halfback in the backfield or whatever, they actually block and focus a little bit different. So I don't know if he knows that. My guy Mark, who I always say we have the same mindset, basically said stop with the copy and paste titles, fuck Mutt, fuck arcade traits, build a true franchise mode. Now, I don't know if you watched Linky. They had their last tournament, which was the Madden Bowl, which is like the end of the year. Yeah, they just finished that, and you know, it's in the MUT mode. They basically do salary cap, and you know, they was talking about like all these different things, like, you know, how everybody who won the tournaments, they were picking teams that didn't have quarterbacks, just running the ball all game long and souping up their defense. So, like, I kept, in my opinion, like, yeah, in my opinion, the defenses shouldn't have they shouldn't have these abilities where they have a crazy amount of like catching animations and stuff like that. And the reason why I say that, because in real life, yeah, Liggy, in real life, if you had a defensive player who was like Randy Moss hands, he wouldn't be playing defense, would he? Exactly. That's my point. Like they're catering to the arcade, the little kids. You gotta decide. Like, are you gonna teach football? Or you gonna do these arcade type things just for the thrill of it? Yeah, Matt said the arcade traits suck. Click on interceptions are trash. Force people to play proper personnel. 3-4 shouldn't be feasible to play an entire game, which is true. Yeah, if a player plays outside, he's talking about outside leverage. But that goes to the animations. Their focus is like pleasing certain people. They slowed down the QB throw animations that you can no longer. Yeah, like you can no longer get a quick pass off. So that's why those, you know, engage 8 type of blitzes, it makes sense for them because you can't even get the pass off half the time. Like. That's true, but in franchise mode, Linky, you could change the release to whatever you want, though. If you want to. Hey, I mean, if you know the game is doing something jacked up, like slowing all QB motions when they throw the ball faster in real life, I wouldn't stick with it. But anyway. Alright, good for you. Yo, Ken Sean said, he said the click on is too slow for the advanced players like us in WML. When it passes first release, we know what coverage we're playing, and if it's zone, you know your player should be lurking, and when you click on, it's delayed or clicks on the hook linebacker instead of the DB that's responsible for that zone. I mean, I do feel like the click on needs to be button mapped like 2K. You know how you can icon pass? I feel like they need that for the click on. Like it has to be icon player select sometimes, because like in certain situations the ball will be in between like 2 players or something, and you have to either click on twice, or sometimes it'll put you on the wrong person based on where the ball is and stuff, like in the air. So I mean, there's only like when you pass the ball. I would say just make it. I would say just never the D line, but like when the icon comes up, it's usually on a pass and stuff like that. So like you're not gonna want to click on to a D lineman, like, but half of the time, the only time you're gonna want to click on a D lineman is if you want to rush the quarterback, like. So So, but there's so many buttons on the PS4. I feel like it's easy. Like you should be able to click on, like have a designated click on button, which is circle. You press that button and all the icons pop up, so you can pick the player. You see what I'm saying? Like there's so much buttons on the controller that you should be able to do that. You know what I mean? There's more than 11 buttons on the controller. Like say I press circle and I press D-pad left, and that's my D lineman on the left side. You see what I'm saying?
You gotta be real controller savvy.
I mean that skill gap. We want that. Like exactly. We want that. We want to be able to control where we go. So like yeah. But I think that's about it. You had something you wanted to add to this, Lee?
No. I've probably been wrong. Just thinking back and what you
All right. Well, we're gonna be doing this.
I'm playing the computer franchise right now. It's crazy.
I've been playing Red Dead Redemption, but I feel like the Madden year. I don't know if they're gonna come out with the beta, but if they do, like I'll be sending you guys codes and stuff. And with Mark, you know, when we partner up with Mark, he'll be handling all the advances for our league and stuff. So I could do these videos and stuff more often. You know what I mean? Yeah. So all right, we're gonna end this here. I'll hit you up later, bro.